Hey everyone, Tom the Dilettante here. As we get into the new year, I've got a couple pieces of news to share with you. First, I'm building a website. I recently purchased my own domain and I've begun building a website where I can share galleries of photos, project write-ups, a blog, a collection of all the items that I would recommend to buy, be they for the Subaru, overlanding, shop mods, tools, whatever. So you'll find a collection of things there. I'll be sharing reviews, collecting some feedback, and generally sharing some news and updates about what the hell I'm doing, just in case anyone's interested. The second bit of news I'd like to share is that I was recently accepted into the Subaru Ambassador Program. I've only just begun logging into their Ambassador Hub and learning what exactly that all entails, but basically you can expect some more involvement in the Subaru community from me in the near future. Hi, can I have a medium coffee black, please? That's it. Thank you. I love talking to people who are passionate about their hobbies. I learn a ton and get to hear and share some great stories. So as my first official act for sharing the love of the Subaru brand, I would like to introduce you to Nick Pappas. Nick is the owner of a heavily modified and award-winning Outback that he's not afraid to take out on adventures. Nick's friendliness, adventurous spirit, and passion for DIY projects I think is what makes him a perfect example of what I've come to experience as members of the Subaru community. So without further ado, let me introduce Nick and his badass Outback.
Hi, I'm Nick Pappas. I'm a wedding DJ and a freelance percussionist, and this is my 2011 Subaru Outback 3.6R. My favorite mods, the first mod I did, which was a favorite, I literally just drove to Harbor Freight and bought the roof basket right away because I felt like I was in too much of a dad wagon. And so once I got the roof basket, obviously it snowballed, I got the light bar, and I like lights, you know. But since then, definitely the lift. The lift kit has been sweet. So no trail rig is complete without a questionable recovery point and a plasti-dipped grill. We've got primitive racing skids underneath the car. Coming around here, I've got Falcon Wild Peak AT trails wrapped around Sparco Terra in Rally Bronze. We've got factory calipers painted red, but the addition of power stop drilled and slotted rotors with carbon ceramic pads. In here, we're looking at flat out suspension coilovers, front and rear. We're sitting at about a 2-inch lift right now. We've got easy flares on our fenders with our Rally Armor mud flaps. Up here we've got our YesCom awning. It's about 6x8, and that's mounted up here to the Harbor Freight roof basket with my Extreme LED light bar and just some more recovery gear. We got our traction boards, spare tire. If you walk over to the back of the car, you'll see all my power mods. So we've got, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20 horsepower back here on the rear window. And then, of course, if you need a hand, I got you covered. Looking up top again to the basket, I got floods on the rear, which when your windows are as dark as mine are actually very beneficial for backing into camp spots or dark driveways or just cooking dinner after dark. Up here I got my Cold Steel Spetsnaz trench shovel, as well as a cargo case. I keep most of my ratchet straps, tie downs, tent ropes and stakes in there. Things that I want to access when the car's loaded and I don't feel like going into the lower storage compartments. If we come back here, I got a freshly mounted fire extinguisher. We've got my Bazooka Tube subwoofer, which has been in 3 vehicles now. And then some more emergency gear, roadside gear. If you come past my co-pilot, BB-8, we can come into the cockpit. Pretty standard stuff in here. I got my Garmin GPS, got my phone mount. I've got a whole switch panel running all my switches for my lights. It also allows me to keep an eye on my battery voltage. I've got an EDC organizer for tools and flashlights. I've also got my Midland GMRS radio, helpful for group trips and communications. Oh yeah, my red anodized aluminum paddle shifters, you know, because rally car. So when I bought my flat out suspension coilovers, I was definitely stoked to receive them. And most of the guys I had talked to had just been doing top hat lifts at that point. So the one thing I wish somebody told me going into it was to allot a bit more time for the install, because although installing it didn't take that long, you then have the infinite adjustability on the coilover. So it took me a good few weeks of just kind of dialing in, setting ride height, measuring, driving around. And so that part you definitely have to be patient with. But once you got it dialed in, man, I am in love with these coilovers. They're stiffer than factory. I got even stiffer springs in the rear for holding loads. There's no sag back there anymore. It handles better on the road, and I have more suspension travel for off-road. So don't judge me because I washed the outside of my car and not the inside. But over here we have the Subaru 3.6 Boxer engine. It is a flat 6 motor. A bit of a unicorn in the Subaru world, as this is the only 6-cylinder in the lineup. And as far as the Outbacks, it's the last Outback paired with a 5-speed automatic transmission. So before they went full CVT on everything. It's got a slightly rear bias all-wheel drive on normal dry pavement, and it's an absolute blast to drive. Plenty of power and plenty of torque to get you where you need to go. Well, thanks for taking a look at my 2011 4th Gen Subaru Outback 3.6R Overland build. You can follow me on Instagram at npappas0013. Have a good day and happy trails.